Okay, so, kind of what you were just saying, you had a normal day today and then 5 p.m. hits.
Yeah. Well, there's not words. There is nothing that I can say to the people of Canton, Haywood County, to the region, that is going to make up to the people, the moms and dads going home to their spouses tonight, their children, and say in a few months they're no longer going to have a job. There's nothing I can do or say. I mean, there will be a lot of questions and a lot of answers going into the future. And, at this point, it's just a matter of listening and praying and wrapping your arms around these neighbors. I mean, the identity of Canton and Haywood County is so closely tied into the paper mill. It's our identity. And it's one of those things now, as crazy as it sounds, maybe being a mill town was not necessarily about having a mill, but it's the lessons and the grit and the determination and that that blue collar strength. But it's also finding a way to go forward when there's not the easy answers, and it requires toughness. And so maybe those traits is what we're going to summon now to get us through this. This is not the end of Canton. And I want to be clear about that. This is not the end of Canton. This is not the end of Haywood County. This is the closing of a chapter. And there'll be time to figure out what the next steps are. But those workers, those families, those moms and dads and grandparents, they're looking to pay mortgages and looking to pay, college tuition. There's a lot of angry and scared people. So now's the time for prayer and helping them any way that we can. This is a very somber day, not just for Haywood County, but I think for all of North Carolina.
And how did this come about? Was this just sprung on everybody today? Was there any fair warning? How did you hear about it?
There was no fair warning. I mean, I learned because of workers that learned. No one had any heads up this was coming. And it's just a punch to the gut. It is what it is. But the news is seeping out. Tomorrow we will start having meetings. I've reached out to the governor's office, local leadership in Raleigh. But again, there'll be a time and place for this. But there's a numbness which now is settled in over Canton and Haywood County. And it's a loss. It's a loss of manufacturing. I mean, manufacturing, the history of manufacturing is not just for Canton, but this region. For America to work, you have to make things. And we took pride in doing that. And so I was talking to Commissioner Kevin Inslee just shortly. I feel that we have had a death in the family. That's something that was part of our identity. And so there's mourning. But again, we will find a way to go forward. That's what we do in Canton. That's what we do in this region. This is not good news. This is the worst news. But tomorrow we will find a way to put one foot in front of the other and do all we can across the board to find these people jobs, good paying jobs. And that's easy for me to say right now, but it's just the words are simply not enough. When I was downtown and I saw grown men with tears in their eyes, there are not words, and no one was prepared on this dark Monday to deal with that. And that is where the concentration needs to be right now, on these men and women who today got the absolute, some of the worst news anybody could receive, that no longer you're employed. Part of your identity is gone.
And that's what I was going to go into. So you've seen these workers since they were told about this?
Mm-hmm. I've had several conversations. I mean, very close friends of mine. And there's a numbness, and it's just, there's a shock to this because it happened so quickly. Similar to the floods, out of nowhere we have faced an economic storm. And the toll is great. And we have more questions than we have answers, and that will continue. But just how quickly people found out, literally sharing the news through text message and social media, it's heartbreaking. But it's there, it's true, and now we have to find a way forward.
Is there a why?
It's above my pay grade. It's anytime someone loses their job, I keep going back even into the floods. We can talk in the days ahead the why, but we've suffered loss, and let's start there. Let's start with the morning tables. Let's start with the fear. Let's start with the numbness. Let's heal, and then we'll figure out those whys later down the road.
And how many people does the mill employ?
Approximately 1,100 at both the Canton plant and the Waynesville plant, and this affects both Canton and Waynesville. Like I said, this is not just a Canton problem or Canton crisis. This is all Haywood County. I was talking to Nathan Ramsey, Land of Sky, great community partner in Buncombe County. 40% of the workforce comes from Buncombe County. If you're watching this tonight, and if you think this is just a Canton or Haywood or even Western North Carolina problem, you're missing out. This is an issue that is going to bring us all to finding solutions for the whole region. I mean, there are people we know in Western North Carolina, we pride ourselves on work. We will drive several counties to work. We don't mind working, but now that became a whole lot more difficult with our largest employer with this news today.
So what do you want to tell your community tonight?
Once again, I find myself you better enjoy the moment. How quickly things can change. And it's more than a job. It's more than a mill. It's our home. And tonight, whether you know someone or don't know someone that works at the mill or connected in the trucking industry, the chipping industry, reach out to them, hug them, love on them, and just like me, try to find ways to tell people that better days are ahead. And I don't have the easy answers, and we're not going to have those answers. But sometimes you just got to reach out to your neighbors and love on them and be with them and stand with them as we all put one foot in front of the other into this whole new chapter in Canton.
Is there anything else you want to say?
That's about it.
You're getting emotional.
It's real. It is. It's just like you can't imagine. It's like going to it's our skyline. I remember back in the floods of 04, it was a powerful months, and it's just like this dark thing. I mean, this was a matter of losing a part of our soul, and it can't be replaced because it's not. Just can't be, and it goes into. We now join so many other towns across the South, across America that are shuttered. And yeah, you bounce back, but mixed development, greenways. I mean, I get it, but it's not those hard-working jobs. Those are benefits. It's retirement. I mean, there's question retirement. I mean, it's just so. What you gonna do? It is what it is. And we have found that. So.